What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you my live twin Fiendsmith build. I've topped plenty of locals. I got 21st at a 300 person regional. Top side events with it. It's a very good deck. It's a little fair for the format when you have decks like Mitsurugi and Malice running around. But for the most part, it does what it needs to do. It's super consistent. You end up on the same board through most hand traps. Yeah, super fun to play. Definitely my favorite deck this format, before K9 and Yummy and Draco Tail come out. So I'm gonna start with deck profile, and then we'll get into some combos and then some games so you can see how the deck works. So starting off, we play 3 pink, 3 keys to kill. This is gonna be your main starter, best starter in the deck. There are other starters, but this is by far your best one. This is gonna get you the best board and play through the most interruption. On top of that, we have 3 keys to kill Frost. And this is also a starter. It's not as strong as keys to kill, but it's also an extender. So if this gets interrupted, you can finish up on the same board because of this card. After that, we are playing 2 sweet, kind of controversial. I know most people are only playing 1. I like having 2 just so it's not as much of a garnet, because if you draw just the 1 that you have, getting it in the graveyard is very hard, and this card is what lets you extend the best. So I prefer 2. If you draw 1 and someone tries to interact with your keys to kill or your Lila, this card is very good to have in your hand. Many times I've stopped a Fua on the keys to kill because of this card. So I like 2. 2 is what's felt the best for me. And then on top of that, we're playing the 1 Lila. It's starter, but it is by far your worst starter. If this gets stopped, you are pretty much done. And then on top of that, we are playing the 3 Sunny Snitch to search your starter, to search your extender if you need it. And then a lot of times, if I open both of these, I will search Sweet. A lot of times they'll know I have Sweet in hand, and they will still Fua on this card just because they don't know what this card does. So one of the best cards to open. Plays into Droll, but this deck does not care about Droll. That's its biggest benefit for this format. After that, we have the Fiendsmith package. So I am playing the 1 Lurie, the 1 Tract, the 1 Paradise, 1 Lacrima, and then 2 Engraver. I don't think you need the 3rd. This is a card you do not want to see in multiples. So 2 works great. A lot of times I will even side down to just 1, or I'll side the Lacrima and the Trap out, depending on the matchup. Because you do not want to see these cards going second. After that, we've got our 1 of spells, just power spells. Called by for the Fua. This deck loses really hard to Fua. Meowls hurts it a lot too. Perulia does nothing though, which is great. So the called by, and then the Talents. Then we get into the non-engine, the hand traps. I am playing 2 Bell. Bell has kind of underperformed for me, so I'm thinking about switching it back to Bestials. The purpose I put for this card was to fight Mitsurugi, but you know, if they know what they're doing, they will chain block, so you can't even use it on the Mirakumo. But it does come up. It's nice to stop a called by on your card. If they try to call it by your Fua and you have this, is great. If you're trying to extend and they try to Bestial, it's nice to have this. So it definitely comes up. After that, I'm running 2 DD Crow. DD Crow, amazing against Mitsurugi Raziel. If you hit the ritual, it completely cuts off the Mitsurugi side of that deck. Even hitting, I mean, it's not once per turn if you draw it in doubles, even hitting the Eclipse Twin to stop their follow-up on the detonator, you're cutting them off of another 2 pops. Or, you know, Mermail, if they send a Shadow Squad and you chain a DD Crow, the Shadow Squad doesn't trigger. Same if they use Prayers, they tribute the Mirakumo, you chain the DD Crow, the Mirakumo will not trigger because it's in a new location. After that, playing the 3 Droll, the main card you need to be main decking. Stops Mitsurugi, stops Mermail, stops most decks in the format right now. That's why this deck works really well in this format, because it does not care if it gets drolled. A lot of the times I will even droll myself if I get Fuud or Meowls. I'll give them 1 draw and then I will droll myself. So great card to have. I'm playing the 1 of Nib. Not the greatest in this format, but when it goes off great. So using this against Mitsurugi, if they've already tributed their big boys, can do a lot of damage. I will usually side this out against Raziel Mitsurugi though, just because of cross. After that, the 3 Ash Blossom, gotta play it, gotta get through the Charmies. This card's main purpose is to stop the Charmies. After that, playing the 3 Imperm. You know, not the greatest hand trap right now, but it doesn't trigger talents, which is great. It's just a good 1-for-1 interaction. If you can find the key point to hit, it's great. After that, we are playing 6 Charmies. So I'm playing the 3 Fua. Super great. Especially if you open these both against Mitsurugi, they start with Habakiri, chain the Fualas, get a draw. After they search off the red one, then you can droll. Definitely necessary right now. And then the 3 of Perulia. Honestly, I think this card is performing better for me than the Fua. Hits VS, hits Vanquishal, hits most decks, hits Onomot Raziel. Super great. Was playing it at 2, bumped it up to 3, and I am glad I have. So that's for the main deck. It's a clean 40. Try to keep it as consistent as I can. This deck does have problems sometimes bricking on hand traps. It's just the name of the game for the format right now. And then the side deck, I'm playing 2 Kisekyo. I know most people only play 1. I definitely prefer having 2. If they Bisteel it, if they stop it, you can keep extending if you have the second one. Comes up so often for me, I can't see myself cutting it down to just 1. And then same with the Lilla. I'm running it at 2. Again, I'm not brave enough to just run the 1 of. It comes up so often that I need the second that, you know, I can't see myself cutting it down. After that, we have the 1 of Kisekyo Deal. This card is broken. A lot of times, if people don't know what's happening, they'll try to imperm it or ash it, so you can bait out hand traps with it, but it sends for cost. So you send the suite for cost. So if they do interact, they're literally hand looping themselves for 1. After that, playing the 1 of Trouble Sunny. You only need 1. You can recycle it if you need to with Engraver, because it is a light fiend if you need it back. Or you can resummon it off of a Bow or a Muckraker. So you only need the 1, but this is your big beater. This is what's going to do most of your damage. Attack in the battle phase, effect, draw 1, pop 1, attack for another 22. It's a very, very good card. After that, we're playing the 1 of Muckraker. Great card. Helps you extend through hand traps if you need it. Helps you get follow-up, gives you some protection. super good to have, definitely comes up a lot. And then after that, we have the A-bow. This is going to be one of your main inboard pieces, non-target pop, reborn of a lighter dark monster, and then in the standby phase, you get to do a hand refresh. Super great. Helps you play through Nib. Because of this card, Nib really does not do a lot. Definitely a broken card. After that, playing the Fiendsmith package. Got the 1 of Requiem, the 1 of Sequence, the 1 of Agnum Day for the game shot, and then the 1 of Desiree. And then on top of that, we have the Necroquip and the DDD, which kind of goes with this package. Most of the times you will end on the DDD with the Lacrima and the Requiem in the grave to send the Desiree. This card is broken. This card is absolutely broken. This will always be on your inboard piece. And then on top of that, we're playing the 1 of Duca Demise. This card is crazy. Helps you extend through Nib, makes Nib really not a problem with this deck. This is, I think, mandatory. It's also a level 6, so a lot of times, if you've already used your Necroquip or something happens to your Necroquip or you're extending in a weird line, this and an Engraver can make your can make your DDD. Sometimes even these two for the DDD. So that's the deck, the main deck, and the extra deck. And then now I'll show the side deck. So side deck, we're running the 3 of Lancia, Malice Hate. This deck has a really good matchup into Malice, I think, but this card definitely helps. It's super great against Mermail, stop the hand rip so they don't get to the barrier statue. Definitely a must play. On top of that, running the 2 Solemn Strike for going first. This deck has no issues going first. A lot of these going first cards are just to get the Charmies out of the deck. And we're running 3 Mistaken Arrest. This card does absolutely nothing to this deck, and this card will win you games. If you see this card going first, game 3, you've won the match. This card is absolutely broken. It's just a better draw. It's a draw that doesn't give them the search, and then you can still draw off your Kisa Kill. If you're playing this deck, you have to play the 3 of Mistaken Arrest. Then we're playing 3 Forbidden Droplet for going second and first. A lot of times I'll trade my Charmies out for these, the Solemn Strikes. Super great. If you can pair this with a Charmy to get a lot of discards, super great, super great. This is a lot of times how I played through Raizio and Mitsurugi boards, because then you just leave them on the cross negate. Then we have the 1 of Feather Duster. Gotta have it. Comes up all the time if you see it. Then we're playing 2 Book of Eclipse. I know this is a weird card for this format, but it works really great into Raizio, and it works great into Regenesis or any kind of Kashtira build. This deck has a hard matchup against Regenesis or anyone playing Kashtira, just because Fenrir banishes on resolution. It just makes it very hard to keep going. Also works really well against Blue Eyes if you can time it right. If you can get their normal Blue Eyes face down, the Drill Beam turns off, or you can burn the Drill Beam with this, because this card, or Drill Beam solos this deck. And then I'm playing the 1 of Santa Claus. Originally put this in for Lunalight. Haven't really played against Lunalight. This card comes up all the time. It's searchable off of Tract because it's a Light Fiend. So a lot of times, if you can get them to pop their own detonator to revive it with Eclipse, and then Santa Claus over it with the detonator, or excuse me, with the Santa Claus over the detonator to turn off the cross and the pops, super great. A lot of times, the combo against Raizil is Book of Eclipse. Get them to chain detonator to pop their own card, pop their own detonator. Their cards will go face down, the detonator will come back, and then get to the Santa Claus to tribute over the detonator. So that's the deck. 40 in main, 15 in the side, 15 in the extra. Super consistent. The worst thing that happens is sometimes you brick on traps, or excuse me, brick on hand traps. But you know, that's Yu-Gi-Oh now. So I'll go ahead and show you some combos. So main combo, we're gonna start with a normal summon key skill, key skill effect to summon out the Lilla. From here, we will link 1 into the deal. Key skill deal effect, we will pay cost to send the suite. We will use suite effect to special. Then from here, we will go link 1 into Requiem. And you gotta love a link 1 into a link 1. Very fair. We will use Requiem effect to summon the Lacrima, and then Lacrima effect to Foolish the Engraver. From here, we'll go link 2 into into Lilla. Then we'll use Lilla effect to reborn the Kisakill monster. What's great about this is you already have 2 in the graveyard, so if they try to Bestial, they hit 1, because it's non-targeting, you just bring back the other. From here, we will link into Evil Twin Kisakill. We will use Kisakill's effect to bring back the Lilla, and then we will go into Trouble Sunny. Here, I like to play around Ghost Spell a little bit. I like to use the Requiem to equip to the Lacrima, and then go into Necro Quip. This is going to be your biggest choke point. If they hit this with an Impulse or a Ghost Spell, it hurts a lot. It's not the end of the turn, but it definitely hurts. So we will use Trouble Sunny's effect to summon back both Kisakill and Lilla, link 2s, and then on summon, we will use Kisakill's effect to draw a card. So right now we're sitting with 5 cards in hand, 4 cards from the starting hand, and then the 1 card we have drawn. From here, we will go link 4 into Abao. And then now, if you want to get greedy, you can use Abao's effect, discard a random card to summon back Trouble Sunny, to trigger Necro Quip to draw a card. And that's only if you discard a monster. Plays a little bit harder into Nib, but that's fine. So we're here, Abao on field. We will use Engraver's effect, shuffling back the deal for cost, because it's a light fiend, and then we will summon the Engraver. From here, we will overlay into Caesar. We will use Abao, discarding a card to banish itself, and then we will summon back Trouble Sunny. And this is great, if you hard draw the Paradise, you can discard it off Abao, so it's not so much a brick, which is great. So now you're sitting with 4 cards in hand, you drew 1, and discarded 1, and then you had your 1 card starter. So hopefully you're sitting into 4 non-engine here to back the board. And then in phase, this comes back. So we're sitting on 2 interruptions with the Caesar, another interruption with the Trouble Sunny, bringing back a draw and a pop. And then we have Abao discard to non-target destroy a card on field or to reborn a light fiend. And then we have Lacrima, target Requiem to resummon it, Requiem to summon Lacrima, and then Lacrima to send the Paradise. And then Paradise to send the Desiree to send a card on their field. So that's the main combo. Inju on 2, 3, 4, 5 interruptions plus a draw, so not bad. Plus whatever 4 cards you have in hand. So this is how you play through Nib. So again, we will start with normal summon Kisakill. We will use Kisakill's effect to summon the Lilla. We will link 1 deal. Deal effect, pay costs. We will send the suite, and then suite effect, do special summon. From here, we will go link 1 into Requiem. And now this is going to be the 5th summon. They can nib here. Not the best place to nib, but if they do, we chain Requiem to summon Engraver. Our board will get wiped, get left with the token. And then from here, we go Engraver effect, shuffling back the deal to summon itself. We link 2 into sequence. Then we sequence effect, shuffling back 2 fiend or zombie monsters to make Duke of Demise. So we'll shuffle back the Engraver and the Requiem. To make Duke of Demise. And then from here, if we have an extra card that we can summon in hand, we will use Demise effect to summon the Perulia. We will link 4 into Abao. We will use Abao's effect, discarding a random card to summon back whichever one you did not start with. So we started with the Kiseko, we'll summon Lilla. Lilla effect on summon. From here, we'll go into a Frost, and then we continue to play. We go Lilla effect, bring back Kiseko, link into Kiseko, Evil Twin Kiseko effect, bring back the Lilla, link 4 into Trouble Sunny, and then in phase, we are here. Now, so we end on a pop and a draw, a non-target pop, and that's it. And then we have 3-4 cards in hand that are most likely going to be non-engine. So that's our play through Nib on the 5th summon.